first on Guam.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
KUAM News Hotspot is brought to you by Calvo Enterprises, Inc.
Hello, 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 and hot today, everybody. I'm Jason Salas. We are KUAM, and we are coming to you live on YouTube, on Facebook, on KUAM TV. You know the deal. And also, if you're watching us on Peacock right now, give us a shout out. We're on Peacock too. So for those of you that subscribe to Peacock, we are happy that you're giving us some of your time today on whatever screen you are streaming us. Screen? That's how that works. And you know what the deal is. We bring you awesome information, and we got a really good show showing you amazing things that are happening on the island today. So let's take a look at what we have in just a few moments. I'm going to chat with a student and a professor at the University of Guam talking about how they are using drone technology to marshal and literally shuttle very needed medical supplies to our brothers and sisters out throughout the Micronesia region. We'll also have details to upcoming events happening right here on the island with our latest episode of News Bites. And we are going to get you up to speed on what happened with that K-pop dance contest at GPO that was held over the weekend. We are going to show you some of the amazing performances that happened. Very, very entertaining all. But first, the UOG Professional Masters of Business Administration cohort. There are 9 of them in total. They are undertaking a class as part of their capstone. Now remember, this is the class that basically combines all of the different skills that they've honed over the past year. Finance, management, marketing, critical thinking, problem solving, organizational structure, everything like that. And a project Hover is a proof of concept project that will demonstrate the capability of using drone technology to bring much needed medical supplies to our friends over in Pohnpei. I have right now Hazel Estrelado, who is one of the soon to be newly minted master's students. Hazel and I have worked together before, so I know she's really, really excited to tell me about this. And then our friend Charlie Hermosa, who is the professor for the capstone project. Guys, this is amazing.
Yeah. It is. Sorry,
go ahead.
No, it is. It is pretty exciting, as far as everyone in our cohort, this is the first time we've done something like this, to take something this big off island and really show people how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And this is a practical application of how, because everybody says like, okay, drones, we can get like really, really cool shots, or you can get like selfies that have never before been possible and everything. But now you're actually using this almost as a form of like humanitarian service, would you say? Or how are you framing this?
In our class, we have to figure out a problem that we want to tackle using everything we've learned, right? And in this project, we've identified that in this region, there's a need to deliver supplies, medical or whatever it may be, to outer islands that don't have access to it regularly. Mm. Sometimes they have to wait a week or so before these medical supplies come in. And they have to wait for a boat to fill up and take it over there. And, in working with our professor, Charlie, we wanted to try out drones and see how that can fit into the picture, because we know it's supposed to be able to do this, but we haven't tested it for something this far.
Exactly. And like any MBA student knows that, if you're worth your weight in gold, you know that you pick the right tool to solve the right problem. And I would say you've got the very best person teaching you right now, because Charlie, I know you've worn many hats over the years. You're a lifelong U.S. Marine. You've served on the Rotary Club here. Community service is part of what you do. I would say your unofficial title, though, is drone dude.
Right. And
you're very familiar, probably the island expert when it comes to this technology.
And I do have to say that I left it up to the class to choose which direction we were going to go with the project, because it wasn't necessarily going to be drones, but a little bit of a little push, a little nudge on seeing if the drone technology could be something that we could look at, I think sort of made sense. But I think you pretty much talked about the fact that this is the culminating point where they're going to put all the classes and everything they've learned into one business model, because this is actually going to be a proof of concept. So if they were to start a business, could this be a viable option? So you have data collection, you have budgets, you're putting pretty much everything together to make sure that you can stand up the company and make sense as far as doing a business model. So a humanitarian aspect, I said, I think the way we're situated right now, I think it made sense for us to do something practical and meaningful. And I think that that's what the students kind of undertook this. And the more closer we're getting, I think they're kind of sort of feeling the dynamics of what this really represents.
And it's also interesting because we've had, like with our friends in the Air Force, Operation Christmas Drop is, they deliver medical supplies, much needed, materials to all of our friends, again, our brothers and sisters in the outer islands. This is a equally effective project at the micro scale. So you can actually like take this and say like from a base, part in Pohnpei and everything like that, send it out to, some other place and really get like, I'm preaching to the choir here, Charlie, but be very, very precise in how you deliver these. So what types of like medical supplies are you looking to bring out?
So I'll let the project manager talk through it. Yeah.
Madam Project Manager, if you would.
So for our class, for the purpose of this project, we decided to design something simple, something basic, since we are not doctors, we cannot deliver prescription medicine. But what we did was we designed a little healthcare kit with some, Tylenol. We surveyed people, and tooth pain is something they deal with a lot. So that's something they have to wait for to go to the dentist and stuff. So we did include something like that in our kit to help relieve pain.
So like a whole case of Anbesol or something like that?
And just basic first aid things, thermometer, a pulse oximeter, things that they wouldn't have on the regular that they maybe, need in their day-to-day things.
Okay, now I got to ask, right? When I was going through my MBA program many, many, many moons ago, because I'm old as dirt at this point, right? We were actually taught and instructed that you take the pessimist view, right? The glass is half empty and you think, how can this go wrong? And then you develop your solution about that. Is that the way, Charlie, that you're instructing your students? Or and what are some of the problems, Hazel, that you've seen bubbling up, and then how do you address those?
Oh my gosh, so many. So in our class.
But that's a good thing, because you're leaving no stone unturned.
Risk assessment. I mean, that's the thing that we've been working on a lot.
And it's a lot of, it's pretty intense in the class, I feel, and so do my classmates feel too. It's like, here's our plan, and then Charlie's like, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And we're like, okay,
but every day,
we gotta think.
Real life stuff, right? Even I'm sure you go through like, what happens if the lights go out? What happens if the camera doesn't work? I mean, but you have to think really fast.
Yeah.
So one of the focus that we're trying to do is sometimes you have to be able to be flexible and nimble in everyday business environment. So, but be able to think ahead as far as what the different options. So we have a plan A, plan B, and I try to keep my distance from the project managers because even though I may know some of the answers, they need to be the ones that are going to have to figure this out.
Well, there's the next interesting question. How do you assess, these hopefully unique ideas that they're coming up with and everything like that, and how do you kind of like, give them guidance when appropriate?
So when they created the business plan and they did the mission planning, that's one of the things that we're going to base it. The mission that you wrote, does it correlate to the mission that we actually accomplished? So the task is to accomplish the mission, but in between, did we take into account the budget? Did we use the right amount of funding? Did we take into account the data? Did we have the right medicine that we wanted to deliver? Because part of the task, the class was divided into separate teams: marketing, development, operations, budget and finance, and so forth. So did everybody kind of hone in and get it right into a certain perspective as far as the overall concept? Because once we come back from Pohnpei, we'll really dive deep. We'll do a after action report, and that's really where the fun really starts.
There you go, because I was going to say, the biggest room in the world is room for improvement, and of course you want to self-assess and everything. But you hit on it too, Charlie. Hazel. This is not just theoretical projects and everything like that. You guys are actually physically going out there, and you're really going to launch this drone and really see it in action. So, how are you looking forward to seeing your strategy, be put into, as a actual action item?
It's exciting. Like I said, it's the first time we've done something like this.
You also get a trip to Pohnpei, which isn't bad.
We're excited to see the place, but I think we're all a little nervous, but we're just going to get out there and do it.
What are some of the metrics that you're holding yourself accountable to?
We, of course, want to make sure that this is something that the people of Pohnpei are excited about as well. We're having an event and hoping people come out to see this. So we've invited our dignitaries and the general public, and we want the media out there to come as well. And then we, of course, want to test. We're really hoping that the drones are going to make it. There's weather problems that might arise. And
Oh gosh. I'm
yeah,
crossing my
I know.
fingers for you guys.
We're on weather watch every day, but of course, as far as metrics, we just want to see the flight be successful, and then when we get back, we do have meetings with our focus groups to see how we can improve and if there is any other feedback.
I gotta say too, I'm loving the fact that you are actually trying to drive down any possible ambiguity and just saying like if something weird comes up, like if a bird should like hit the drone and pray that it doesn't. And there's some wonderful, beautiful video of some test runs, I'm assuming, Charlie. So tell us what this could possibly be.
So this is the actual drone that we'll be taking down to Pohnpei. It's called the VTOL, so vertical takeoff. So it vertically takes off and then turns into a fixed wing.
This is almost like the Harrier jump jet from way back?
Correct.
So former Marine, right?
Yeah, in essence, that's sort of the operation that it does. It can fly for 3.5 hours. So we're going to utilize this one to be able to sustain the island-to-island delivery. So we're super excited. I think this is the first time that it's actually going to be showcased outside of the training that we've been doing, or because the Bella Wing, it will have a component of operational folks that are going to come down with the cohort to make sure the operation goes right and accordingly. So
okay, so they are going to be under very well trained, well supervised.
Correct. And just to kind of add, so they have their own matrix, but I have my own matrix from a professor standpoint, because I'm going to measure everything that we said we were going to do. From hitting the mark on the production during that day, did we have the right supplies, just to make sure from an operational standpoint and from a business perspective, did they get it right? So
Hazel, are you guys inviting anybody from UOG's physics department and everything? Because like just looking at a drone and seeing like you're dropping something like that, wind shear, weight, like momentum and everything like that.
No, we didn't contact the physics. We don't have a budget to bring the physics team.
Well, that's part of it, the physics. And
a lot of things that they've been asking a lot of the questions. So operationally, I wanted to make sure that they were asking the questions, and we were going to provide the answers. Obviously, we're going to make sure that it's all safe, and that's number one. Safety is our number one priority, but execution of the mission and the task that they've put together is also part of the agreement.
Okay, so here's this wonderful flyer. Now, Charlie, I got to tell you, I'm all in with this. I'm super, super excited because, again, when I was going through my MBA like 25 years ago, right, it was all theory. We took a use case that already happened and we're asked to, come up with a strategy, come up with a different result. You guys are actually breaking new ground and coming up with, something that's never been done before. So I'm totally in. Are we able to follow your progress and that of your students?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How can we do so? Is there like a social media channel that you guys have set up where we can follow?
Yes, I think part of the project is we're going to create a Facebook page, and I think that's the best way to follow us, because you could potentially watch us live on the demonstration.
Yeah. So we will be doing a live broadcast of the actual drone flight when we get there.
Very nice.
We'll send that over to you so you can tune in.
And I apologize for how fanboying I'm going to be. Like when you guys, I'll be like a woohoo. I'll be the guy who's like blowing up your comments.
Yes. You can also check out the UOG website, because they will be featuring us on student stories as well.
Excellent.
They'll be following the project, and we will have a capstone presentation at the end of the term to present it to the public.
Okay, so Hazel, best of luck to you. And Charlie, fantastic program that you're running right there. And this is just the first of many, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Best of luck.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, keep us posted. And please keep us posted, because we will be right back with more HotSpot right after this.
Buenos Zenhafides. As you all know, our islands had a very successful year, and I'd love to hear about all of the progress we've made. Skylar, why don't we start with you?
We've helped over 1,200 Guam kids and their families pay for childcare.
And that's over $5.5 million in childcare costs so far. Over 130 after-school and community care programs have received grant funding for programs like swimming,
and cycling,
and soccer, and jiu-jitsu.
We've also graduated 3 cohorts
in our provider certification program at GCC,
and certified over 75 relative care providers.
Looks like we have a message incoming from headquarters.
Hi kids, I just want to say congratulations on all your successes this past year.
Thank you, Governor Lou. We couldn't have done it without you.
Keep up the great work.
He's ready for recess.
This ad is paid for with funds administered by the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
The One Micronesia Show, Sundays on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Join me, Victoria Spahn, for one-on-one interviews with Micronesians in our region and around the world doing amazing things and representing our community. Plus, I'll be sharing different looks at our diverse cultures, languages, food, and much more. And as a special treat and a way to end the show, we're hooking you up with a musical performance every month with a One Mic Jam Sesh, sharing music from all over the Micronesian region. It's sharing our common world because we are One Micronesia.
Only Pizza Hut lets you surround your favorite pizza with greatness. The one and only stuffed crust pizza tempts your taste buds with melted cheese stuffed inside that amazing crust. And at just $18.99 with one topping, the stuffed crust pizza is truly irresistible. So grab your slice of pizza perfection with cheesy goodness baked right into the crust. The stuffed crust pizza, just $18.99 with one topping. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
The most tempting part of your week is guaranteed to be the Subway and Chili's lunchbox hours. Catch it Mondays through Fridays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Breeze 93.9 FM as we bring you the greatest hits of your lifetime from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. So grab yourself a mouth-watering Subway Series Select sandwich or something sizzling and flavorful from Chili's. This lunchbox hour is brought to you by Subway, Eat Fresh, and Chili's, where more life and great value happen here.
We're living in a new world with new ways of communicating, connecting, and moving through life.
Every day seems to be marked with change, and with all these changes, you need trusted people you can rely on for advice and insights about the things that really matter.
Let Gina and I walk you through everything you need to know about real estate, from buying to selling to renting, and all the details in between.
Join us with Jason Salas every week on House to Home.
House to Home every Tuesday on KUAM News Extra, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
As my former colleague Sonia Artero used to say, welcome back. And special shout out to all of you who are streaming us right now on Peacock Live. Good to see each and every one of you guys. Man, we appreciate it. All right. Time for News Bites, shall we? So Mike and Daniel in the back, the best in the business, are going to show these wonderful graphics. And we want to tell you that the Autism Community Together, ACT, our very, very good friends, will host their annual 2K, 5K run walk for autism on Sunday, the 2nd of April at 4 in the afternoon. Oh, it's an afternoon 5K. These are fun. Courses start and end at Chamorro Village Huts downtown in Nagayan, so that's a straight shot. You can register in person from March 27th through the 30th, that's today, from 2 to 8 in the afternoon at Micronesia Mall Center Court. $15 per person or $50. Save money. That's important these days. For a group of 4, you can also register on race day for only $20. On April the 1st, also happening in the 4th month of the year, April Fool's Day, it's the opening of artist Tara Sood's exhibit at the Lee's Regis Art Gallery on the 2nd floor of Tumon Sands Plaza. Twirl is a visual treatise on dance and will feature paintings and drawings by this very, very talented artist. Speaking of friends of ours, Westcare Asia Pacific Islands presents Here Comes the Fun Sun Spring Camp. It happens it's for kids from 11 to 14 years old, starting on April the 3rd, from 8:30 in the afternoon to 3:30 at the Santa Rita Sumai Community Center. Pete Anderson is loving this a lot. Represent Santa Rita. All right. For more information, call 671-989-9792, or you can go to westcarepacificislands.com/org/events. And finally, from the healthcare front, our friends over at the Seventh-day Adventist Clinic, shout out to those guys and girls for the very wonderful work that they do, are hosting a free seminar on inflammation. This is something that affects many of us as Guamanians. Happens on March 29th and 30th from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Hilton. Attendees will receive a free gift. All right, if you are a fan of The Voice, and there are many of you, there are several here on the staff too. Starting Tuesday, the battle rounds begin. The coaches are going to talk about the playoff pass that's going to be available to them. Here is what you need to know.
Nothing like this has been done before on The Voice, ever.
We have a thing called a playoff pass.
There it is! The playoff pass!
This year, for the first time ever, we have the playoff pass. It gives the artists a chance to skip the knockout round and go directly to the playoffs.
I'm using the playoff pass! A Voice first!
The playoff pass is the highest honor we've ever given to an artist on The Voice. They both get to stay, but one gets to skip a whole round.
It's amazing to be able to award someone for a breakout performance.
That's my team!
My God.
I'm so excited. I think this playoff pass is going to be huge.
I thought it was an award show level performance.
Was that your arrangement?
This round, every coach has one playoff pass and one steal.
Oh, we got 2 steals! The 2 new coaches use their one and only steal.
Not even in it.
The playoff pass overrides the steals, so I think this is going to be a game changer.
Give it up for our coaches!
We've had this in the past where we coaches pair people that are both amazing, and all of us coaches are like, oh my God, that was like a finale performance. That deserves to be recognized.
What's going to force me to use the playoff pass is seeing what duet works the best and what 2 people stand out in their individual performances and as a collective.
Wow. Come on!
I just want all my artists to step it up so nobody goes home.
That was insane. Lakey boy, one hell of a make here.
Language now.
This is good timing. It's incredible that the first season I'm here, it's the first time The Voice have used the playoff pass. It's going to be interesting.
All right, real quick. Love the judges this season. Wait, Marie's back there, right? What is the thing with the 3 on Chance the Rapper's hat? Well, if you want to know, you got to watch The Voice, so make sure to tune in because that is coming up right here on KUAM at TV8. All right, still to come on the Hotspot, we give you a recap of the big K-pop dance competition held in Tamuning at GPO. That is coming up next. Don't move.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Buenos Zenhafides. As you all know, our islands had a very successful year, and I'd love to hear about all of the progress we've made. Skylar, why don't we start with you?
We've helped over 1,200 Guam kids and their families pay for childcare.
And that's over $5.5 million in childcare costs so far. Over 130 after-school and community care programs have received grant funding for programs like swimming.
And cycling.
And soccer. And jiu-jitsu.
We've also graduated 3 cohorts.
In our provider certification program at GCC.
And certified over 75 relative care providers.
Looks like we have a messaging coming from headquarters.
Hi kids, I just want to say congratulations on all your successes this past year.
Thank you, Governor Lou. We couldn't have done it without you.
Keep up the great work.
He's ready for recess.
This ad is paid for with funds administered by the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
The One Micronesia Show, Sundays on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Join me, Victoria Spahn, for one-on-one interviews with Micronesians in our region and around the world doing amazing things and representing our community. Plus, I'll be sharing different looks at our diverse cultures, languages, food, and much more. And as a special treat and a way to end the show, we're hooking you up with a musical performance every month with a One Mic Jam Sesh, sharing music from all over the Micronesian region. It's sharing our common world because we are One Micronesia.
Only Pizza Hut lets you surround your favorite pizza with greatness. The one and only stuffed crust pizza tempts your taste buds with melted cheese stuffed inside that amazing crust. And at just $18.99 with one topping, the stuffed crust pizza is truly irresistible. So grab your slice of pizza perfection with cheesy goodness baked right into the crust. The stuffed crust pizza, just $18.99 with one topping. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
We're living in a new world with new ways of communicating, connecting, and moving through life.
Every day seems to be marked with change, and with all these changes, you need trusted people you can rely on for advice and insights about the things that really matter.
Let Gina and I walk you through everything you need to know about real estate, from buying to selling to renting, and all the details in between.
Join us with Jason Salas every week on House to Home.
House to Home every Tuesday on KUAM News Extra, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam on Demand.
Okay, everybody, not going to stop beating this drum today. Shout out to all of you who are watching us on Peacock right now. If you are, send us a note. DM me. Let me know that you're watching the Hotspot on Peacock. Take KUAM TV wherever you are. If you have a device, if you're in line at the bank, if you're kicking back on the couch, if you're at work, if you're at school, I'm not going to narc on you. Sign up for Peacock. It's less than $10. You get amazing NBC programming plus us. Like really, like us. You can take us with you. You can share with your friends. It's an amazing experience. Make sure to check out Peacock. Hit the links on our website and you can find out how to sign up and let us know. Speaking of DMs, please nobody DM and don't spoil Succession for me. I've been waiting for this for almost like 2 years. Please, I don't ask you guys for much, but I just want to find out what's happening on Succession tonight. So thank you for that. And we'll talk about it later. All right. Now, on to things that happened this past weekend. All smiles it was at the GPO food court over in Tamuning. As you might remember, last week, our friends Ina Lee and Elizabeth Cruz were, and there is the dance performance right there. They were talking about this wonderful K-pop dance competition that was being held, sponsored by, of course, the Rotary Club of Northern Guam. Individuals or teams, any student, middle school through high school age, was a challenge to come out and do their best rendition, but it had to be a K-pop themed song. Very, very up-tempo, very catchy, very infectious. And you see here, there's a troupe of very young Guamanians really wowing the crowd over there at the food court at GPO. I was at the food court yesterday. I was at Charlie's. Nice people. And we had Charlie Hermosa here. Charlie's all around. Cash prizes went to the first place team. First place got $1,000, as you see there on the graphic. Second and third place also got cash prizes as well. Amazing. So congratulations to all of you who came out, who performed. I do not envy the judges. They had quite the task in front of them. So really, really wonderful job. I'm going to stop talking because I want to let you guys watch this amazing performance. Here we go. That was perfect with a capital P. Congratulations to all of you who entered. Really, really entertaining. You know what also begins with P? Peacock. I told you I was going to keep talking about that. So make sure to sign up for Peacock. Stream us any time of day, anywhere you are, on any device, and you can take us with you. All right, we are going to take a quick commercial break. Speaking of taking things, remember, don't spoil Succession. We'll be back right after this.
Show Sundays on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Join me, Victorious Fawn, for one-on-one interviews with Micronesians in our region and around the world doing amazing things and representing our community. Plus, I'll be sharing different looks at our diverse cultures, languages, food, and much more. And as a special treat and a way to end the show, we're hooking you up with a musical performance every month with a One Mic Jam Sesh, sharing music from all over the Micronesian region. It's sharing our common world because we are one Micronesia.
As my good friend says, that's it, Pants It. We are out of time. We'll see you tomorrow.